Welcome back to Jazz on Ice. This is the Dr. Tone Hardy. And in this segment, we'll have our tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King. We have a very special panel of respected residents of Connecticut to talk about the I Have a Dream speech and its meaning for us today. That speech is very important because people think about I Have a Dream. There's an excerpt I'd like to read that we're going to talk about today. He says in that speech, it's obvious that America has defaulted on its promissory note insofar as her citizens of color are concerned. Instead of honoring this sacred obligation, America has given the Negro people a bad check, a check that has come back marked insufficient funds. But we refuse to believe that the Bank of Justice is bankrupt. We refuse to believe that there are insufficient funds in the great vaults of opportunity of this nation. So we have come to cash this check, a check that will give us upon demand the riches of freedom and security of justice. So what can we do to get America closer to being able to cash that check, clear that check? Let's introduce our panel to find out what it is. We'd like to start with Bridget Williams. Bridget, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, hello. My name is Bridget Williams. I am a native of Norwalk, Connecticut. I am a product of the public schools. I graduated from Norwalk High School, Go Lady Bears, and I also graduated from Horry Georgetown Technical College. I have 4 children. I am a grandmother of 4, and basically that's it, the owner of Necessities 101.
Bridget, welcome to the panel. Thank you for making time for us today. Next up, we have David Daniels III.
Yeah, my name is Dave Daniels III. I'm a native and resident of Bridgeport. I recently retired 4 years ago from the Bridgeport Police Department after 25 years of service. I left as a lieutenant and I'm most known for community policing.
Awesome, thank you. And finally, we have Ernell Grant.
Hello, my name is Ernell Grant. I am a native of Bridgeport now for 13 years or so. From Jamaica, migrated here when I was 14, and I served in the military, the Marine Corps. I'm a veteran, served in the Desert Storm crisis. I also am the founder and owner of Poets Realm, which is a weekly open mic venue.
Yes, I've been to Poets Round. We're going to talk about that at the end of the panel. So thank you all for making time to come today. Let's start off with the question, when it comes to making this check clear and getting justice for all Americans, what is the one thing you would change if you could, and how would you do it? Let's start with Bridget.
Okay, yes. Being a mother of a son who's 22 years old and a grandmother of 2 grandsons, my concern is about their lives, the future for them. As I see in the news, like every day, how our young men are being gunned down and police are walking away, with no repercussions of their lives. And it concerns me that, we are in 2018 and we're dealing with issues from like 1966, in the 1950s and 60s. So I would like to see laws being amended and officers or whoever is taking these black lives in front of a camera to show the injustices. I would like to see justice prevail to the highest extent for a black person's life. And in the news today, we're not seeing that. So I would like to change that if I had the power and ability to do that.
Okay, thank you very much, Bridget. David?
Yeah, I think that before we cash that check, we need to do some soul searching. We need to come together. We need to try to instill in our people a sense of community. We need to be on the same page. We need to be of one accord. And we need to be demanding the same things. We can't be all over the magazine trying to satisfy our own personal needs. We're trying to move the positive needs of the people. And we can only do that if we come together and we're unified. So we have to find a way to teach our young people how to come together. And we need to talk to our elders, because our elders have been through it all and they've seen it all. There's nothing new under the sun. Each one teach one. We need to come together.
Thank you. Ernell?
I definitely agree with both Bridget and David, and I want to add that community is definitely a key in this. We are divided in so many ways. Religion, light skin, dark skin, I make this much, you make that much. And for me, it's not being an individual on an island, it's coming together. You know, the ones that's making the money, they should be able to teach the young ones, like David said, to show them the blueprint. This is how I made it to this point. This is what you have to do. Not work harder, but work smarter,
Right.
and things of that nature. Bringing the community together is definitely key in this fight.
What would you, if you had an opportunity to sit down with members of our community, what would you actually say to them to motivate them to pursue justice? It's so easy to point the finger at the politicians, but what would you say to a member of our community who's in their mindset is it's their problem, they need to fix it for us? What would you say to them to get them moving towards pursuing justice? Bridget?
Well, basically, we have to be taught, you know, a lot of us have to like really do some ground searching and say, what can I do personally, even if you got to start in your own home to make a change. You know, if you want to see a change, you have to be that change. You know, so start with yourself first. See the downfalls that you may have, or you know, what can you do to offer whatever you have, your skills, your gifts, your talent. Start with yourself. Start within your immediate family. You know, get that love across to your loved ones. You know, we have extended family with friends and you know, associates, but we need to start in our homes. You know, we have to teach our children young. And we have to be accountable. And I remember as I was growing up, when I walked down the street, I had 3 women that would keep an eye on us. Like they sit on the porch. We call them nosy Miss Alice, but Miss Alice kept us. We knew we could do certain things. So again, you know, we have to go back into our communities, but we're at a point now that you can't tell me nothing. You know, I don't want to. You mind your business. But if we're going to come together, we have to be concerned, and sometimes we have to be bold enough to say, you know, I saw your child doing this, or I heard your child say that, and you know, I'm not trying to intervene, but I think you might need to check that child. You know, if we got to get back to that, you know, with love, not pointing fingers, but we have to be humble with each other and patient with each other. But again, yeah, start within the home, start within yourself, and just work, you know, branch out in your community. That's my suggestion.
Awesome. Who's next? David?
Yeah, I'm going to jump in on the word that she said a few times. It's love. It really is all about love. We don't love ourselves, and the reason we don't love ourselves is because of the way we've allowed ourselves to be portrayed in the media. You know, we have to wake up and realize that it's okay for us to be us, and it's okay for us to be us to the magnitude that we are. Once you realize that it's okay to love yourself, then it's easy for you to discern good from bad. You know, you're not going to say to yourself, I deserve to be treated this way because I'm worthless. No, I'm full of worth. And we need to instill that in our children. When our children feel empowered by the sense of love that we've given them, then they'll stop taking those things that are contrary to the way that they should be treated. So until we can instill a sense of love in our people, male, female, young and old, we're not gonna be able to change much. So you want to start at home, that's where you start. It starts with the love of self.
That's awesome, man. I know George Benson and Whitney Houston both sang songs about loving yourself, the greatest love of all. And we're missing that.
Right.
And that's a good point. Appreciate both of you pointing out. Ernell, you want to add something?
Yeah, it's a recurring theme. I agree again with what's being said. In my situation, I have a youth poetry program where I'm able to touch a lot of young people. David ran a youth basketball program where he was able to touch a lot of people. So we're figures in the community that show that we care.
Right.
And we just don't talk the talk.
Right.
We do something about it.
Right.
You know, doing the poetry, my son actually wanted to come to my open mics. So he's the one that spurred me into starting the Poetry for the Kids. And with that, he looks forward to that every time it's going to happen. And we have other young folks that they interact with. And so if I touch 10, 15, 20 people each week, who knows how many they might be able to touch. And when they see the love that I portray and what I demand, you know, it's I'm making my impact on the people that surround me, and I know that it's going to branch out, like Bridget said. So the hands-on approach, we have to take responsibility. We can't just expect someone else to fix all the problems. Our president, Barack, okay. Barack is going to fix all our problems. Stop playing. We have to do the work. We have to put it in. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to snap our fingers and a miracle is just going to happen and, oh my gosh, we're seen as equals. Oh my God. We have to have that self-love, like David said, and spread that outward.
I know myself, I was for a long time a career guy, focused on my career, and I learned the hard way that making it all about me and my upward rise was not the answer. And, the Poets Realm, my first time I went was, I guess 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. And I posted on Facebook a couple days ago that hanging around with poets, musicians, DJs, and artists has changed me. And has made me think. I'm a linear engineer guy. That's how I think. Mathematics and science is what I do. And arts was not really what I did, but I didn't even know I had that. I didn't even know I had the capability to do this, sit in front of a mic and play music, and as a vehicle to teach and improve my community. And that came from the Poets Realm. So hats off to Ernell and what you've been doing.
Blessings.
With those young people. Any final thoughts that you want to share? Any last words about this topic?
Well, again, you know, I'm glad we're having this discussion. We need to have many more of these discussions. Some of these things, what we said today, I know we all heard them before, you know, but again, I'm concerned with that we're still dealing with issues from the 50s and the 60s, and we're in 2018, you know. I know flags are being brought down, and I know statues are being removed, so I see a little upward towards, you know, equality. But yeah, we all have to come together, acknowledge what's really going on in our world, and do what we can do as an individual to make this world a better place.
Anything else, David?
Yeah, just to piggyback on what she says, I think that we as a people have to realize that we're in this every day. You know, you're never going to get to a point where you can have a sense of complacency. You need a sense of urgency is what you need. You need to understand that you're never going to be in a position where you could be comfort corrupt. Every day is a struggle. Every day you got to go out there and try to get back the 4 steps that you lost while you were sleeping. And until we start thinking that way, we're gonna stay stuck in the mire. So you got to wake up every day and put on that armor and be prepared to battle. It's just that simple.
Awesome.
And I just want to say to all the organizations out there who are trying to make a difference, put your egos aside. Because I've had the opportunity to work with a few people in the community and a few other organizations, and I tell you, our goal is to help the community, but going about it, we have differences of opinions, and that can lead to bad blood. It can lead to dissension and things of that nature. So I say, put our egos aside. This is not about us. It's not solely about this organization or that organization or how much shine you can get. It's all about the business that we can do together to uplift ourselves. So again, shout out to all the organizations out there who are trying to do the work. Put your egos aside. Work with other people of like minds. Hey, you might have differences of opinion, you might have different ways of doing things, but get the work done.
Exactly. Now, Ernell has been running Poets Realm for many years and has been a fixture in our community, but Ernell is leaving Bridgeport, leaving Connecticut. So this is, I want to give you an opportunity, Ernell, to say goodbye. And to
Well, he's
leave.
taking us to Florida with him.
I'm ready to go.
But I want to give you an
Especially this week,
Yeah,
right?
it's negative 17 and more. Come on.
leave a message for all your poets, all your people. What would you say to them? What's your final message as you head south?
To all the artists out there, because it's more, to all the artists out there, because it's more than just the poets. We have musicians that come in there that just rock my soul. You have people who come in there who walk off the street, who haven't experienced that world before, who come in and just get on the mic and say some profound words to touch you. So each and every week it's different as far as who's going to add to the vibe, the flavor, the love. However, what I leave with the community is that keep the vibe going.
Yes,
Keep the love going.
yes.
One man, I saw a vision, and the vision is here. It's bore fruit, right? And I'm going to go to Florida and try and keep that going. Poets Realm, right now, I'm trying to make that nonprofit so that we can do more. We could have poets from Connecticut, artists from Connecticut invade Florida.
Right.
The Connecticut invasion and Florida and so forth. We have Poets Realm Houston right now. So trying to make this a household name of love. When you think of Poets Realm, it's love for the artists, it's love for the arts, and it's love for community. It's love in general. So I just leave love, peace and blessings to each and every one out there, poets, artists.
At my age now, I'm gonna take you way back, but Ella Fitzgerald,
Okay.
this, what is it, the scat queen,
Mhm.
you know, so when I first heard her back when I was growing up,
Okay.
she amazed me, so Ella Fitzgerald.
Okay, so the last segment, when I come back from commercial break, we're going to play some David Davis and some Ella Fitzgerald in honor of our panel today. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tone Hardy. I am the doctor. You're listening to MLK 1350, WSTC 1400, Peace, Love, and Jazz. We'll be back. Thank you.